Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days, and as you can very clearly see, if you have not been paying attention, XRP is doing incredible. We are starting to see a little bit of a pullback on the day, and I do want to talk about my thoughts on that. And we also have quite a bit of news to go over, some price analysis at the end of the video, and let's go ahead and get things started. So generally speaking, we're actually still seeing some crypto up on the day, Bitcoin up 2%, Ethereum up 1.3%. XRP does have a little bit of that pullback there, and there's some major things that are going on. So first off, the United States, it's been announced they have just 41 days of crude oil inventory left, the lowest level in half a century. So this is not good news, and the whole idea of drill baby drill, what's going on with that? A lot of people are really upset at the gas pumps. This will affect other markets. Obviously, it'll affect things like the stock market. We'll also more than likely see it impact things like the crypto market. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, what kinds of adjustments that they might make, but that is not great news. And up next, U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent announces any country that helps Iran will be removed from the United States dollar system. Any country that supports Iran in any form globally, including China, should now be prepared to face U.S. sanctions, and countries that stick with Iran will be isolated alongside them, as Trump is now making phone calls to world leaders to cut economic ties with Iran. Bessent adds that the new U.S. economic campaign targeting Iran has been officially dubbed, quote, Operation Economic Outcast, with the United States enforcing a, quote, zero leakage approach to Iran sanctions. This is extremely dangerous territory. If countries do not agree with what the United States is doing, then they may look for new allies. The United States right now is not on great terms with Canada either, and that is very quickly deteriorating, potentially leading into catastrophic issues such as supplying of electricity to, I think it was it 1,500,000 Americans? I believe it was something like that. It might have been 15 million. I don't think it's 150 million. But yeah, it's a lot of Americans regardless, as well as with, I believe, nickel. So issues going on with the United States and its allies, and then putting everyone on notice like this if they basically don't comply, and then the United States is going to remove them from the US dollar system. So what does that mean? The US dollar is just going to start collapsing because they're going to look for alternatives? What's BRICS going to do? You think they're just going to stand by? People were mentioning that this might be an opportunity where the people that wanted to get out of the US dollar may actually use this as a final nail in the coffin to push into an alternative. We might see things go back to gold. You might see them try to push the Chinese yuan. There's definitely different things that could happen here. Do I think that everyone's going to start pushing his reserves on crypto like Bitcoin? As much as I would love that, and I think it would be cool, I really doubt that that would happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Up next, Bitcoin ran straight into the sell wall at $80,000. Someone big is sitting there and they're not moving. And in some other news, JP Morgan is closing in on becoming the first trillion-dollar bank in history, and it's already on the XRP ledger. $970 billion and climbing. No bank has ever touched $1 trillion. Now connect what everyone's missing. JP Morgan's Connexus already settled tokenized US Treasuries across borders with Ripple and MasterCard on the XRP ledger in about 5 seconds. JP Morgan tokenized QQQ and SPY and DTCC's live production trades, and tokenized WJPM trades on the XRPL right now, 24/7 on a DEX built into the protocol. So with that, the bank about to make history is not just being tokenized on the XRP ledger, it already used the XRP ledger to settle real assets. The bank is the asset, the ledger is the market. Wall Street's biggest name took 226 years to approach $1 trillion. The rails that trades it settles in 3 seconds. Also, some new breaking news. A Korean bank just dropped SWIFT for Ripple payments, and the race wasn't even close. Same transfer to rails, the old rail. Money hops bank to bank through the correspondent chain. Every hop adds a fee, a cutoff time, and a day. Closed weekends, arrives day later. Ripple payments, value moves in one straight line, seconds to minutes, 24/7, visible end to end. Jeonbuk Bank just became the first regional bank in Korea to make the switch. replacing multi-day SWIFT transfers for the businesses that feel it most. Import-export firms, IT startups, content creators collecting global revenue. And it's Ripple's third major Korean institution this year. Kyobo Life, Korea's largest life insurer on-chain bond settlement. K-Bank, Korea's first internet-only bank. Custody infrastructure. Jeonbuk Bank, live cross-border payments. SWIFT sends messages and the money crawls behind them. Ripple moves the value south. The message network had a 50-year head start. The settlement network is lapping it. XRP just got plugged directly into the US Federal Reserve's FedNow system. Volante's Ripple integration just unlocked XRP for instant FedNow payments. Banks can now settle through XRP on the same rails the Fed uses for 24/7 real-time transfers. This is the quiet infrastructure move nobody saw coming until now. The bridge is live. The smartest money in crypto just went short. Wintermute is sitting on $190.8 million in shorts. This is across Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, Hype, and XRP. They're down 5.85 million right now. They're up $203.6 million all time. Do they know something? What do you guys think? Goldman Sachs discloses $86.5 million across 5 XRP ETFs in its second quarter 13F filing, resuming exposure after selling out entirely in the first quarter. Ripple XRP exploded in a $120 trillion market. This changes everything forever. Brad Garlinghouse dropped the bombshell and nobody saw coming. Ripple is officially invading the $120 trillion corporate treasury payments market. CFOs of Fortune 500 companies are about to start moving real capital on chain. Idle billions trapped in old systems are about to wake up. Buckle up, the real XRP era just started. Ripple tapped the bond market. Ripple Prime, formerly Hidden Road, the $1.25 billion acquisition, just raised $275 million in a private bond sale. 8.25% coupon, matures in 2031. BBB rating from Kroll Investment Grade, first ever crypto-owned broker-dealer to hit IG status. Markets open. XRP ETFs already surpassed $54 million in volume. Bitwise dominates with over $42 million. $54.87 million in total XRP ETF volume already. And again, with Bitwise, you're looking at about 42.74 million. Almost 4 hours still left before the market close. XRP ETF activity is heating up fast. Bitcoin holds above $77,000 after a 21% weekly gain. XRP surged 46% over the same stretch as Fed Chair Warsh's Jackson Hole debut draws focus. And for crypto spot ETFs last week, we've got Bitcoin at $1.92 billion, Ethereum $697 million, XRP $39, Solana $28, Link $13, Hype $3.89, AVAX $1.3, HBAR $848,000, and Dogecoin at $654,000. And looking at the price movement for XRP, we do have a little bit of pullback here. It's frankly not that surprising. Just look at this. We did have 5 days of growth and seeing some selling pressure coming in. Again, not that surprising. We had a lot of volume that came in on Saturday, August 22nd. You see this big run up and went all the way up here to $1.70, and then it looks like there was a lot of selling pressure. At one point, we did have it drop down into a red zone at about $1.40. Currently, we are sitting right around $1.50, which I think is looking pretty good. We are in a Fibonacci zone between $1.83 and $1.41. If it can manage to get right around $1.61, that's about the midpoint. Breaking above that, we'll be leaning a little bit more close to that $1.84. And as it is right now, we can zoom out just a tad bit here. You guys can see that we did have a price here back on May 15th. So you got to go back in time a bit. That's when we start to see even further of a drop. But we did hit these levels essentially hanging right around this price range from about May 10th to the May 15th range. And then zooming out even more, you do have also here back on April 18th, zooming out even more, a little bit of an instance here back around February 17th. So frankly, not surprised with this. Then let's see if it can get above $1.50, $1.55, $1.60, and $1.66. I would keep an eye on those prices. If it drops back down, well, guys, guess what? We're quite a bit above the median line of the Bollinger Band. This is absolutely super massive wide. It might head back down towards $1.13, the midline, and then $1.10. But I am trying to be optimistic here. Hopefully we'll see it continue to grow, and this is just a little bit of selling pressure. Volume is a bit lower here on the day, so the selling pressure we're seeing is mostly on the sell side and not much activity. That's what I got for you guys in today's video. Appreciate you guys. Be safe. God bless. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.